Long ago, so the ancient Thespians say, there was no entertainment in the world. Everything was boring. Then, through the darkness, came Don Correll, and at his side was a flock of flying pink flamingo. Flamingo noises.
The ancient demon raised his arms into the air, creating negative space. And the energy spread across the land, creating theaters. He lowered his arms and stared at the empty temples, and after a moment of immobility, created the first actors with a sharp yell of his voice. And!
Don created the Thespians, he disappeared back into the darkness.
The first actors communicated with one another through body language and gestures, which soon became known as pantomime. After years of silence from the Thespians, they began to improvise with speech.
Words, phrases.
Red letter, yellow letter.
Something about woodchucks and seashells.
I'm not the pheasant plucker, I'm the pleasant fucker's shit!
The actors quickly realized they needed to practice using their voices, so they created the first known warm-ups.
Twinkle, twinkle, little star, how I wonder what you are.
And many more years passed with no change in the Thespian world, but soon many actors began to have second thoughts as to the correct way one should act.
You know, if we talk really loud, then everyone in the audience will be able to hear us.
Yeah, that makes sense. Well, anything else?
If we paraphrase, then the words that we say will actually sound like they came from us.
Yeah, that makes sense. Well, anything else?
Oh, and if we stand in straight lines, we won't have to move around as much, and it'll look more real.
Yeah, that makes sense. Well, anything else?
As the Thespians began to make their changes to the original makings of theater, an ancient darkness returned to the land. Through the pitch black, Don Correll returned.
What is that?
It's the ancient one!
Don Correll entered the theater with one of his flying pink flamingos, where the actors were having their meeting, and started to stare them all down. After a moment of immobility, he let out a sharp, on-center yell.
What is this shit?
We're not worthy!
The best rules of acting, and you turn them all into shit!
The actors all cowered before Don Correll and begged for forgiveness. Their apologizing annoyed the ancient demon.
Shut up! I'm trying to work.
Don Correll quickly went to work on the actors. He made sure that they did 30 minutes of both physical and vocal warm-ups before each rehearsal and performance.
This sucks. No talking during warm-ups. Yes, sir.
He then explained how an actor must learn their lines, not memorize them.
There's a difference?
Of course, dumb shit.
When one of the actors got unruly or questioned Don Correll's authority, he used swift and fair judgment on them.
That's my...
Clark, dead.
Thank you, Leslie.
When the ancient demon's work was done once again, instead of going back into the darkness, he shape-shifted into an elderly, innocent-looking director. His flying pink flamingo keeps an eye out for him whenever he is needed to direct the show, or grade papers the way he likes to do it.
MLA format!
Hundreds of years later, he still keeps a watchful eye on his creations and makes sure that things were done the way they were supposed to. And that is how First Thespians
And Kylee.